We're pursuing intensive and proactive diplomacy to manage our most consequential relationships. We're investing in the sources of our own national strength and those of our allies and partners.
It's National Security Advisor at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Jake Sullivan's plans for world peace. He is the same guy who said things were as quiet as they had been in years in the Middle East, just 8 days before the October 7th attack. So let's just quickly review the past few days and what Mr. Sullivan is dealing with. The U.S. coordinated a targeted attack with the United Kingdom against the Houthi rebels. That's the Iranian-backed group in Yemen. It didn't work. Iran proceeded to attack the United States and used Houthi rebels to hit a U.S.-flagged ship. Iran keeps smuggling weapons to the Houthis. These weapons were confiscated by the United States on a ship headed from Iran to Yemen. Sadly, 2 Navy SEALs fell overboard, and despite massive search and rescue operations, the SEALs have disappeared into the Gulf of Aden. Joining us now, Representative Michael Waltz, member of the House Armed Services Committee, Foreign Affairs and Intelligence Committees, former Green Beret himself. Good to see, Congressman. Thank you. Look, there's the issue of the SEALs. They went up to get on this boat. One got knocked off in the waves. The other one jumped in. Tragic situation. In a larger sense, I'm wondering why a sense of deterrence has not been established against Iran that says you don't do this stuff. And you don't take pot shots at the U.S. Navy or U.S. flagged boats or the U.S. consulate in Iraq.
Well, I think the simple answer, Leland, is Iran, Tehran, the Ayatollahs believe that, we can have all the U.S. and coalition military capability we want in the region. But if they don't believe that there's a political will in this White House to use it in the way that actually makes Iran, not its proxies, but Iran itself feel pain, then they believe they can get away with it. And they are, from attacks all over our bases in Iraq and Syria to shutting down shipping lanes with a ragtag group, the Houthis, to surrounding Israel with a ring of fire, which is what the Ayatollah has repeatedly stated he's going to do, and they are doing. So they're achieving their goals right now, but it's because they don't believe we have the political will to do a thing like strike one of their field generals, Soleimani, or do what Reagan did, which was sink half the Iranian Navy after they dared to strike one of our ships.
I think about what Jake Sullivan was saying at Davos, and this is sort of the idea of a greater world order, if you will. That was sort of the promise of Davos. The humiliation of Davos, man, he isn't taking over the world. He's pleading with the world to trust him. That was Walter Russell Mead today in the Wall Street Journal. I'm wondering if the only reason things like Davos are possible is with a strong United States, and if Jake Sullivan is not sort of propagating a world based on Davos with the United States there rather than Davos because the United States allows it to exist.
Yeah, I mean, the simple fact is that Davos, the world order, Bretton Woods, dollar is the reserve currency, the liberal, little L liberal world order that has propagated global prosperity since World War II, the fact is has been underwritten by American economic, military, and diplomatic strength. And when both our allies and adversaries believe that's on the decline, and in behind closed doors, the group around Biden is talking about managing that decline, then I think it's it should be no surprise to anyone why authoritarianism sees opportunity right now and why it's on the march.
And seizing the opportunity. Congressman, it's good to see you as always. Thank you, sir. We appreciate the perspective. A lot more on this tomorrow in War Notes. Gives you a free look at the show every day at 4 p.m. We'll also have a lot more on our coverage in New Hampshire. Warnotes.com. Subscribe for free to get a look at our thoughts on the most important stories of the day. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.